We're talking about Donald Trump's very troubled run, what it means to the 2016 presidential race. And there's no better place to begin that talk than looking at the latest batch of numbers from our new Bloomberg Politics national poll. Yesterday, we showed you Hillary Clinton leading in a head-to-head general election matchup with Trump. 12 points, 49 for Clinton, 37 for Trump. The numbers we released today are no better for the Republican presumptive nominee. 66% of the likely voters in our poll said they had an unfavorable view of Donald Trump. ABC News Washington Post national poll has that number a little higher at 70% unfavorable. When we asked voters if they would ever consider voting for Trump, 55% said never. These polls add to what has been a tsunami of negative headlines for Trump over the past 24 hours about the state of his campaign, his response to the Orlando massacre, and his ongoing war with news organizations. If you work for the Trump campaign, let's just say it has not been a very good day to sit by the telly.
From Muslims to the media, the latest Trump comments that have Republican leaders squirming.
And new numbers this morning. Do they spell trouble for Trump?
A new Bloomberg poll shows a major decline for Donald Trump, now trailing Hillary Clinton nationally by double digits. But that's not even the worst part for Trump. An overwhelming 55% of those polled say they could never vote for Trump, as well as 63% of women say that they could never support him.
The polls that just recently came out show Donald Trump with a 70% unfavorable rating. Nobody has ever gotten elected president of the United States with a 70% unfavorable
that's the newest
rating.
These have been the stories. People don't like what they're hearing. They have started to turn against him. A significant number have started to turn against him.
And then there's Trump's latest fight with members of the media.
Mistake for Trump to ban Washington Post, yes or no?
It's a mistake. It sounds like Nixon's enemy list.
Okay. It's been a lot of controversy, and you see his numbers have gone south, and that 5.5-point lead, not only is that pretty significant for Hillary Clinton, the trend here is what's really got to be troubling for Donald Trump. And as we say, it has been a month of controversy.
After Trump's comments yesterday, you now have the top Republicans, Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell, agreeing with Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton about his comments on Muslims.
What do you believe is going through Paul Ryan's mind now? Is it that the party doesn't have a plan B? What is it?
That's some bad information flow for the Republican. Donald Trump seems to realize that he's a man somewhat alone on an island right now. In a rally in Atlanta today, he made it clear that being alone on that island is A-OK with him.
You know, the Republicans, honestly, folks, our leaders have to get tougher. This is too tough to do it alone. But you know what? I think I'm going to be forced to. I think I'm going to be forced to. Our leaders have to get a lot tougher. And be quiet. Just please be quiet. Don't talk. Please be quiet. Just be quiet to the leaders. Because they have to get tougher. They have to get sharper. They have to get smarter. We have to have our Republicans either stick together or let me just do it by myself. I'll do very well. I'm going to do very well. Okay?
So, John, based on our poll and everything else and Trump's attitude as reflected there, how big are his current troubles?
They're pretty big. They're pretty big. And I think actually that reaction today is maybe the deepest trouble of all. You and I hear from people every day on Twitter and other places who cast around aspersions on Trump and say he suffers from narcissistic personality disorder. That display right there, the notion that you can go it alone, that you can become the president of the United States as the nominee of the Republican Party with no help from anyone. It's all me. It's all going to be me. It's not in touch with reality. It's not in touch with reality. And being not in touch with reality makes it very hard to win a presidential race.
I don't care how sympathetic one is to this notion that Trump plays by different rules and the establishment doesn't get it. He has lost a lot of news cycles in a row at a time when Hillary Clinton's had to deal with her email problem, when there's some bad job numbers. He is losing news cycles, and Republicans are noticing as much as anybody else. People are going to make a snap judgment that the race is over, that Trump can't fight back. There's a lot of time left in this race, but where he is right now is in a very bad place, and nothing he's done this week so far, halfway through the week, has turned things around.
Right, and let's be clear. We saw back when we first started polling Trump's numbers back in the summer, almost a year ago, Trump had very bad numbers, and he improved them over months. He improved them, though, in the context of a Republican nomination fight where there were questions about his tenor, about his temperament among voters, but not about his basic policy stances. Those were not really, the Republicans basically agreed with him about a lot of things. Now you're in this general election context, much bigger electorate, a lot of available voters out there who right now, they're not on Trump's side necessarily on policy. They're trying to figure it out. And the things that he's said and done over the last month have, I think, there's a good case to make that they may at least have turned those people off, possibly permanently.
And he turned things around when he was running against an overmatched field. It was a big field, but it was overmatched.
Right.
Now he's running against two people, Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, who can command the stage just as much as he can. He's got a big problem.
He's got a very big problem.